Boom.
Chat's not there. Oh, yeah, it is. It's
Chat's
different, though.
there. Let's go. We're in business. We are in business.
Chat's looking a little different. It's okay, though.
There was an update. There had to be an update. It looks weird. Yeah, it looks like smaller.
Yeah,
Our screen is bigger.
Is it?
Yeah.
Bright. Oh,
Hey.
there we go. We're making the chat.
Hey.
What's up, guys? Oh, everyone's joining.
He wants to skid it. Skid it.
Oh, okay. Wade Clausen. Related to Jimmy? Jimmy Clausen?
Maybe. Has to have some relation.
Oh, there's Mikey.
I'll give you one, Mikey. Bears.
A lot of Bears fans on the channel.
And here.
I get a new one following the Twitter like every day. See, they got a Bears avatar.
Good.
They're all over the place.
No relation.
No? Okay. Unfortunate. No, it's probably a good thing. Probably a good thing.
Yeah, he's not here, though, right now, Mark. What does that say?
Pigskin Pete sucks. Yeah, no Pigskin and no Danny.
No Pigskin. No Danny. You're going to have to deal with us.
No Thursday night game, so we thought we'd do this. We are not going to be live tomorrow, unfortunately. So
Premise.
Yeah.
We're off for the holidays.
Off of the holiday. No, except Christmas Eve, I'll be back with the recap of Sunday.
There you go.
Pick'ems won't be Tuesday. It'll have to be Wednesday. Christmas is blowing everything.
Yeah.
But we're here. We
Wednesday
thought we got about an hour to do some Q&A just to talk sports stuff with you guys. So, it's Wade's first stream. Welcome.
Welcome, Wade. Welcome.
Who do I start, Goff, Trubisky, or Rivers?
That's tough.
Amon asks.
That's tough.
Goff versus the Cardinals, Trubisky versus the Niners, or Rivers versus the Ravens?
I think Goff bounced back. Goff bounces back.
Yeah, I'd say Goff. He's been really bad.
The Raiders D scares me.
He's been really bad, but yeah, Ravens D. Yeah, you're right. Can we talk about my underwear obsession, Tingling?
We cannot. Mikey, what is that? That's disrespectful, Mikey. Disrespectful.
What do you say?
Us.
Well, if Pigskin and Danny are gone, why are we even watching?
For the glue. The glue.
You know, no Thursday night game. We can't stream tomorrow, so we thought this was better than nothing, you know?
Right.
Talk a little football. Can talk anything.
Yeah,
you know?
whatever. It's open to you
we
guys.
got the matchups behind us, but anything can be discussed. Anything. Who's your all-favorite team? Bears and mine, right? Where is it? Right here. Can't see it.
It's Vikings. You looked at the wrong.
Yeah, I thought it was on this side for some reason.
What is this, Donald? This is a long little. What's up, fellas? Donald from Cincinnati checking in. Got a question for you. Which defense should I play, New Orleans or Carolinas? Ooh.
Yeah, that's tough.
That's a tough one.
Ooh.
Big Ben's gonna throw some picks. We know that. But
Saints are at home too. Carolinas, the Falcons' offense has struggled a lot this year, but
I'm starting Matty Ice in the finals.
Yeah, you would think without Cam, maybe that Panthers defense constantly on the field, so that's a risky play. The Saints get turnovers, even though they give up some points, some yards, they get turnovers. So it'd be safe probably to go with the Saints. That's a tough call. Is that the finals for you? That's gonna be tough.
Yeah.
I picked up the Dolphins defense last week just for this week in case I made it to the finals against the Jags. Dolphins against Jags. So I'm feeling pretty good about that. Will the Cowboys win in the playoffs? Depends on who they play.
Depends what Dak shows up.
I was like starting to believe in the Cowboys until last week. That was rough against the Colts. No points. They could match up against Seattle. They can match up against Minnesota. I think they'd rather play Seattle than Minnesota. Not that Minnesota's better than Seattle, but I think in terms of matchup, I think the Vikings defense can match the Cowboys defense, and they're pretty even offensively. I think the Vikings pass rush would be a problem with the Cowboys. So
that'd be a good game. I would like to see that game.
I would actually Cowboys at home against Seattle. I think I would pick the Cowboys. So if it ended up being like that, I think they'd win a game. Yeah.
Let's see what we got here.
Marvin, happy holidays.
Happy holidays. No, Marvin. Merry Christmas.
Let's talk insurance. I can hook you up. Okay? Don't need insurance.
Don't need insurance. Covered through work, buddy.
Do you guys think the Falcons will be dangerous next year? They should be.
If they stay healthy. Healthy is their huge key here.
Yeah, they got to stay healthy. They got to draft well, which they have a good pick. Matt Ryan's got to be. He still played solid. It's been rough at times, but apparently they're going to fire Sarkisian and hire Darrell Bevell. I don't know if I like that. I'm sick of teams going for coaches that failed elsewhere. It's a big circle. So, are you guys vegans? No,
I'm not.
It's a big circle. Coaches that failed. Go somewhere else, fail, sit on the bench a little bit, go somewhere else, fail. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think Baker Mayfield is dangerous next year? Yeah, he's dangerous.
That team is dangerous. That team is very dangerous, fellas.
A lot of questions coming in. Hopefully, we apologize if we missed some.
We're gonna try to stay as up to date as we can here.
Yeah. What do we got?
What do we got here? Thoughts on Nick Mullins for next year?
I think he'll be a backup on the Niners.
Yeah.
We will see though. Do your NFL mock draft. I did
right
one
now.
last week. I'll update one soon. As soon as the okay. I can't wait for the offseason just because we got plans. So something to get excited about. I know we got playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
Well, first off, let's get a roadmap going. Okay.
Want me to draw it? I got the notebook.
It's all right. It's gonna be tough.
All right.
So it's week 16. Next week, normal videos. We'll predict week 17, right?
Right. Oh, right.
Okay. And then playoffs start. We'll predict all the playoffs, have playoff videos, stuff like that, And then road to the Super Bowl, how teams can get the Super Bowl, stuff like that. But then as soon as we're through all that, playoffs, Super Bowl, we'll do some live streams in there too. Off season. I think as soon as the off season hits, I'm going to make a top 100 list, just like the NFL top 100 does. We're going to reveal it. I'm just tucking this football here. I'm getting ready.
All right.
It's going to be a lot of work to come up with the top 100. I still got to get started on that, but playoffs will count, and it'll be based off 2018 alone. And we'll reveal it each week at a time, similar to the NFL top 100, but it'll be much more accurate, obviously better. So I can't wait for that. We'll do a lot of rankings based off 2018, top 10 of each position off 2018. So a lot of stuff, recaps of the year. I think it'll be a lot of fun. But, as soon as all that's over, back to covering the draft. A lot of mock draft, prospect rankings. That's kind of where we started here. So, same old stuff, maybe more of it. Lots of good stuff here.
Can I address a comment?
Yeah.
Bears Red Zone, I am on the toilet because I'm sending the Browns to the Super Bowl. Next year.
Yeah.
Or in a couple.
Yep.
No timeline on that. Where's Le'Veon signing? I'm going to say Colts.
Marlon Mack's starting to look good. They may like their young guys. I mean, obviously Le'Veon's better. I'm going to say, I still think the Colts
got that O-line that's going to...
Yeah.
So maybe it's not just Marlon Mack. Maybe it's the O-line.
Maybe the Texans, but they need a better O-line to get ready.
If he goes to Houston, he's going to look terrible.
What about you?
Bears Red Zone.
Bears Red Zone. Oh, yeah, it's that one. I'm a Vikings fan. N'Keal Harry or A.J. Brown? N'Keal Harry. Receiver 1. Guy's an animal. He's an absolute animal. Can do everything. Don't see receivers like him every draft class. I think he easily should be a top 10 pick. Excited to see which team he lands on. But the receiver class is good. A.J. Brown's pretty freakish, too. Metcalf from Ole Miss is freak. A lot of guys. A lot of receivers, I should say. There could be quite a few that go in the first round, really. Dingalingalo wants individual mock drafts and a podcast.
You're asking a lot. Buddy.
I mean, I'll have plenty of mock drafts. Danny said he was going to look into he wanted to analyze the defensive backs because he played defensive back, so he wanted to look at the corners, mainly the corners, look at the safeties, and he wanted to give his breakdown. We're going to compare it to mine. So I played corner and safety myself, so I really enjoyed talking about the defensive backs a lot. So it'll be good to compare with Danny which guys we like. But obviously the top corners, there's some really good corners. You got DeAndre Baker from Georgia, Byron Murphy from Washington, Greedy Williams from LSU. Those are the top 3 guys. Next up would probably be Mullen from Clemson and Julian Love from Notre Dame. But I think those top 3 are pretty clear cut. I can't wait to talk about draft stuff every year. Favorite day of the year, draft day. And we'll be live during that. Can't wait for that. What else we got?
See what else we got going on.
Thoughts on where Flacco could go? So I saw an article today that said something about the Titans.
No.
which is weird.
No. Flacco's going. You heard it here first. He's going to Jacksonville.
Jacksonville?
He's going to Jacksonville.
Okay. I'd say Jacksonville, Washington, or New York. The Giants, I mean.
I don't think the Giants are going to go. I think they're going to go the young route.
I think so, too. That would be my third choice. But, yeah, I think it's between Redskins and Jags, pretty much.
Redskins that's like a team that nobody's really thinking of because of all the Alex Smith stuff going on.
No Danny or Pigskin tonight, unfortunately. Sorry about that. Super Bowl pick and who wins?
Can I tell you a team that's concerning me?
Who's that?
The Saints are concerning me.
Even if they have home field the whole playoffs?
No. I'm not saying they're bad, but the last couple weeks their offense has not looked the same.
They've been off, yeah.
And they, like the Rams, who are the top 2 seeds as of right now, the last 2 weeks they've both looked weird, just odd.
Yeah.
The
Rams definitely are off. The Saints, it's like
their offense is off.
Maybe
the defense is. I don't think the
it's
defense
not
is
on
bad.
Rams level off though.
No. Rams, everyone collectively is off.
Yeah,
I don't know what's going on.
I was kind of saying weeks and weeks ago. I don't think the Rams can go far, but I didn't think they'd be starting to do this now. Really. Yeah, I mean, if the NFC playoffs goes through New Orleans, it's gonna be hard to beat them. But I guess anything can happen. Lions need a new offense coordinator. Who should they get? That's tough. I like to talk about I talked about a little bit ago. I don't like going and getting coaches that failed somewhere else. You know, I want somebody new. You know, people are starting to look at the college route. I heard Brian Kelly from Notre Dame's getting looked at. He would have to be a head coach though, but I don't think he leaves Notre Dame. That'd be wild. I can't give you a specific name. I prefer looking. It's tough because I prefer the new school type of system. So you're probably better off looking at college. But for Stafford, it doesn't really make sense. So honestly, I don't know if Jim Bob Cooter is an issue. I think it's more Stafford right now. But
Stafford needs to get back to his mechanics. They look off.
Yeah, I don't know if you can get better than Stafford right now though. Like, so you kind of got to stick with him.
I mean, they seem to have found their running back.
Yeah, if he stays healthy.
Mm-hmm.
What if Mullins got traded to the Patriots?
Not happening.
They're pretty funny though. Like Jimmy traded from the Patriots to the Niners, and the Niners trade Mullins.
Just return the favor.
Yeah, I wonder if the Patriots are going to draft a quarterback. It's gonna be very interesting.
I think they are.
It was an interesting topic last year.
What if they went and got like Flacco, or someone like that, because he's a free agent?
They have to trade him.
No, I thought he's at the end of the year.
They were talking about like trade scenarios for him going to the Jags, the Redskins. I think.
What if they go get Bortles and just make him just out of this world? That'd be awesome.
Colts versus Titans flex to Sunday night. I don't know. Do they?
Is that confirmed?
I don't think they. I don't know if
that's next week.
There's no Sunday night game for Week 16. That should be.
That'd should be a nice game. It's going to be for like the wild card or for the wild card spot.
Yeah, unless honestly both could actually miss the playoffs because the Steelers and the Ravens, which would be wild if neither the Colts or the Titans made it. Which is I gotta start reading up there. I'm not looking at the camera.
Yeah, look at the camera. Which
is a better team with the Saints offense and the Bears defense, or a team with Chiefs offense and Bears defense? I'll take the Chiefs offense with the Bears defense. It's tough though because if we're talking like playoffs, you know, you could see a young first-year starter Mahomes versus the veteran future Hall of Famer and Drew Brees, and maybe the Saints offense ends up being better. But talking right now, Chiefs offense. NBC said there will be a Sunday night football game. That'll be interesting. Yeah, I didn't think they usually don't do Sunday night games Week 17, if I recall. I think it kind of just ends after the afternoon. Yeah, we're behind in questions.
We're very behind in questions.
Apologize if we miss any. Talked about Flacco. Yeah, Redskins or Jags. Titans suck. The Colts are gonna whoop them. Titans seem to struggle with the Colts, so I think chances are the Colts would win that game. But I think statistically over the last few years, the Titans are one of the better teams at home, and they're at home in that week, so that's gonna be a good game. It should be Sunday night. Really should be. What? People picking the Pats to lose in the wild card round. I think they'll figure it out. Chances are they'll figure it out. I don't know if they win the Super Bowl, but they figured it out. Oh yeah, we kind of just didn't answer that Super Bowl picks question. I talk about it on Twitter. You can see at the top left. That's our Twitter. Every Tuesday, update my predictions. I stuck with the Chiefs, even though they came off that loss to the Chargers, which it's tough because I am starting to doubt their coaching a little bit because they got the players. They have the best player in football, but they got to win those games. They can't let that comeback happen. Which college bowl would get the most attention? College bowl. It's one of the playoff ones, or unless you're not counting the playoff ones, then
do one that's not the playoffs.
The Rose Bowl, Washington versus Ohio State. Can't wait for that. I picked Ohio State. That's gonna be good because Washington, for a Pac-12 team, does play good defense, and they can score on Ohio State's defense, which has been weak this year. But Dwayne Haskins is on another level, so I'm excited to see him play. It's a true test. I can't wait for these big bowl games. For the draft's sake, it's gonna tell us a lot about some of these quarterbacks, other players. So.
I see a good question up here.
Okay, let's hear it.
What does that say? What chance do you give the Ravens to win the division? I think the Ravens have an easier route to the division.
Well, they're both underdogs this week.
Yeah.
Ravens, Chargers, Steelers, Saints. I see more people picking, in terms of like experts and whatnot, I see more people picking the Steelers in the upset than the Ravens. But for me, I think the Ravens have. If I had to pick an upset, you gave me those two games. One has to be an upset. I would pick the Ravens. I haven't picked well this year though, because it's a weird season. But I didn't end up picking the Ravens. But I like their defense. I don't know. Right now it looks like the Steelers are going to win a division, but I can't really give you a percentage there. I like the Ravens defense. I hope they get in. That's why it's tough. The Steelers, the Ravens, the Colts, and the Titans. Two of those teams are going to be out. Two of those teams are going to be out.
That's crazy.
I'd say most likely the Titans are the first one out.
Yeah.
Logan Ryan injury does not help. Derrick Henry's on. I saw something about Derrick Henry in here too. Derrick Henry's on another level. He's insane.
Somebody said him or Marlon Mack week 17.
I'd rather have Derrick Henry. Oh, what bigger performance?
I'm gonna say Marlon Mack.
I'll say Derrick Henry.
You think so? I think the Colts
hot
D,
take here.
The Colts D is gonna give him an issue. They're not gonna miss tackles the way the last 2 weeks everyone just can't tackle.
We need to see more, but Derrick Henry might be one of the best running backs in all of football.
He needs to show way more.
He's been a backup most this year. He's 11th in rushing yards and 4th in rushing touchdowns.
But somebody like Vrabel, if Derrick Henry wowed him in training camp, he's starting him. The fact that he didn't shows that he didn't really.
I think
wow
it's
him.
like one of those things. Like there's people that are too small to play, and like even if they continue to play good, like there's just like the coaches have it in their mind that they're too small. They can't. There's no way they can play. I think he's at the point where he's too big to play running back. Where there's like, and he looks slow until.
I need him to hit some people.
He's probably. I bet you he's way faster in the actual game than he is in practice or anything else.
That's
like 40 times.
That's wild.
So I think that's what does it. Honestly, he's actually at the point where he's too big, where people doubt him at the running back position. Lot of questions we're missing. Let's see. Dexter Lawrence or Christian Wilkins? Good question. I think two totally different players. Even though they're both in the same defense right now, they both play defensive tackles. They're two totally different players. I think, Lawrence will get drafted higher. He's more of the freak athlete. I think he will play. He can still play in a 4-3 defense tackle. I think he can play a 3-4 ends too. Christian Wilkins could play in either, but he would be a D tackle in both. So I think they're two totally different players. So it's hard to compare. But to answer your question, I think Lawrence will go first. I think he'll appeal to more scouts and teams this year. So we'll see. Wilkins, maybe like if you watch who disrupts more and who has maybe the better numbers in terms of production, maybe Wilkins. But I think Lawrence goes first.
I saw a. Are you done?
Yeah.
All right. I saw a comment. Josh Allen or Darnold.
Josh Allen or Darnold?
Going off this year, I'm taking Josh Allen.
Oh yeah, Josh Allen. I had Josh Allen before ahead of
right
Darnold in my pre-ranking. So it wasn't huge. Darnold looked pretty good last week against the Texans, but wasn't a huge fan of Darnold coming out really. But he's got potential. It's going to take some time. They got to get some better weapons too. They definitely, both Allen and Darnold need another, at least one more like number one receiver. These days you need multiple number ones.
Yeah.
You need multiple number ones. Plenty to get in this year's draft.
Red zone. I know.
What else we got? Who gets the first overall pick? I think the Cardinals will get the first overall pick.
I think they got that lockdown.
Raiders can get it. I think the Cardinals will get it. I think they take Bosa.
Do you think the Raiders packaged Carr with one of their late first rounders to try to get 2 top 10 picks?
They need a taker. Somebody's got to like Derek Carr enough.
Well, there's a lot of QB needy teams.
Yeah, but would
they
rather,
maybe don't want somebody as old as like a Flacco or somebody?
Or what if they want to draft if Herbert goes or Haskins or I don't know. I think 10 picks are very, very valuable, and for Carr to be struggling right now, I don't know if he's worth it. Even if
but people are gonna associate Carr's struggles with the team he's on.
True.
He's gonna get a pass, and I still think his trade value is high. I don't personally. I don't like that, but it's high. Somebody who's on a bad team should still be able to look decent. He's looked awful.
How do the Packers get back to the playoffs
next
year? They don't?
No, I don't know. They need a healthy running game. They need to get rid of Jimmy Graham, and they need a tight end because Rodgers likes his tight ends. And
he doesn't like Jimmy Graham, though.
Doesn't like Jimmy Graham, and Jimmy Graham is washed. He was washed before they signed him. Maybe draft a young tight end. Their defense is looking good. You a bunch of young DBs. I think it's just kind of like they need to develop a little more. But other than that, Rodgers needs more weapons. He does not have weapons. Devontae Adams is not enough. Not enough.
I think they could use a receiver. Yeah, they're done with Jimmy Graham. Get a tight end. Pass rush, pretty important. Clay Matthews, nowhere near the same.
They've had some guys that looked good. Like Blake Martinez, is it? It's looked good.
Jake Ryan was out the whole year. He'll be back. Yeah. I mean, he's nothing special. He can start, but he's nothing special. I think they need a pass. They need a better pass rusher. I think they need another receiver to pair with Devontae Adams. Could use a tight end, but I don't know if it's like the first one must. They have 2 first-round picks this year. Receiver and a pass rusher with those two. I think Aaron Jones is their guy for the future. He's got to stay healthy.
Yeah.
They got to use him when they get the chances. They kind of been splitting with him and Jamal. Jamal Williams ain't bad, but not your starter.
It's one cut back.
I mean, I guess it's really on Rodgers. I mean, Rodgers was a couple throws away from winning a couple more games, really. So it's on him.
Yeah, but he's that kind of quarterback that it should have come down to a couple throws. He should be with the right weapons. They should blow everyone. They should be winning games easily.
The division's going to be super tough again next year, too. I mean, the Vikings they're not going to get worse. If anything, they'll be better. The Bears should be around the same. And the Lions they're not going to get any worse. They could get better. So none of those games are free wins. So it's going to come down to like one big play. You got to hit it, and that's really what it's going to be. I'm looking forward to Jair Alexander and Josh Jackson next year. I think that can be a really good corner duo. They could use a safety, too. Definitely could use a safety. Josh Jones should be okay at 1. But he's more of a box guy. Yeah, they got the draft picks to do it. Good defensive draft. You just got to hit on those receivers that can play right away. And I mocked them a receiver, and people kind of let me have it. They have Valdes-Scantling and Equanimeous St. Brown. Those guys are good depth guys. Scantling can play. He can definitely. St. Brown's a good depth guy. Scantling can play. But like I said, you need 2 number ones. You definitely need 2 number ones. And you have the opportunity to go get one in this draft. Like if you can bring in a guy like Marquise Brown or DK Metcalf, 2 totally different guys, but either one could complement Devontae Adams, and it could be very scary. So just imagine that if you're a Packers fan. I don't want to hear that they have Valdes-Scantling and Equanimeous St. Brown. 2 guys that can play, don't want to hate on.
Rosen Darnold.
Rosen has not been good this year, but
no, say next 3 years. 3 to 5 years.
I like Rosen. I'm sticking to my draft board from last year. I like Rosen better.
I would have to.
Mariota to the Raiders. I don't know about that.
No. Wouldn't it be something if Titans moved on from him?
There's no way they do it.
That'd be crazy. What if they want to run like a legitimate pocket pass type offense?
It's ridiculous.
That'd be wild. I don't think they need to completely retool everything. But
Why do only 4 receivers from each conference make the Pro Bowl? That's a good question. Should be more.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Pro Bowl.
Because the Pro Bowl doesn't matter.
Yeah, it's a popularity contest. I don't know. It's cool to see, some of your favorite players make it, but it's really not a big deal. The All-Pro team after the year, or Frogs Angels All-Pro team. That's what matters.
Ooh.
Frogs Angels All-Pro team is what matters the most.
Write it down.
We'll do 2 teams. I just can't wait for the top 100. Gonna have a nice reveal. It's gonna be some debates going on. Are the Seahawks looking good? Not last week against the Niners.
Okay, Bears thinks that this Red Zone guy who seems to be like in love with me is my burner account. No, don't have a burner account. He loves me.
Trubisky or Tom Brady bandwagon. What?
Yeah, what does that even mean?
Thoughts on the Raiders picking up Peterman? Is it just? It might be just for now because McCarron not at practice because his wife had a baby or something, and you hear what he named their kid?
No.
Cash Carter McCarron. Cash Carter.
No boy.
So yeah. So when McCarron comes back, do they?
How many teams has McCarron been on this year? Didn't the Bills have him?
Yeah, the Bills and the Raiders. Yeah, but he just came from the Bengals last year.
Yeah, my God.
No QBs in the draft look good besides Haskins. Well, if Herbert comes out, Herbert's solid. I like Drew Lock. Drew Lock's got an arm. You got to be a little smarter with the ball. I like his confidence. He's got the right attitude. I really like his attitude. I think he's solid. And Greer's a system guy. Works for some guys in the NFL. So we'll see. Scouts like Daniel Brown too, or Daniel Jones, not Daniel Brown, from Duke, and Ryan Finley from NC State. The quarterback class isn't that bad. There's no elite guy maybe. I liked Herbert better last year than I did this year. That might be a problem. He may stay. We'll see. There's some people that feel very, very strongly that he's going to stay, and there's some people that feel very, very strongly that he's coming to the draft, and he should be the first quarterback off the board. Herbert, that is.
Jags are taking Gaskins.
Or Myles Gaskin or Dwayne Haskins.
Yeah, maybe both of them.
Because it's Myles Gaskin with no S at the end, so I don't know what he means. Well,
Well,
Gaskin's a running back, so I don't know if they need another running back. I think he means Haskins.
Card of the Jags. You heard it here first.
What? Card of the
This
Jags?
guy says card of the Jags. That's I don't know. I think they're gonna have a high pick. He's not worth. Carr's not worth that pick if they're gonna trade that.
If I was the Jags, I would rather have a guy like Haskins, something different, something new, younger too. And then Carr's young still, but I would like Haskins over Carr. Even though Herbert would maybe the first one off the board, Haskins to me is something different for the Jags. I think it's something that can throw people off. It'll work, I think, in that division. So we'll see. The long way to go to the draft. OBJ, Evans, and Juju all big snubs because of only 4 receivers per conference. Yeah. I wouldn't put Odell
Juju
in there.
maybe.
Juju's a beast.
He's awesome.
Yeah, T.Y. Hilton, too, possibly. Is Tucker the best kicker? Maybe not based off this year. That missed extra point it's still, sticking with me. They missed extra point to send the Saints game to overtime. He just missed it at home. It's one missed extra point, but it's just kind of sticking with me. But I think if we start a new year and you ask me who the best kicker in football is, I'd probably say Tucker. What DB would go the highest in the draft? I think I'm back and forth for my favorite DB. I was always a big fan of lockdown corners, and DeAndre Baker from Georgia is that guy. He reminds me a lot of Xavier Rhodes, who's known as one of the other lockdown corners. And I can't really compare. I couldn't compare Rhodes to anybody else, and I couldn't find somebody to compare it to Rhodes. DeAndre Baker's the only one that's like that. So I liked him a lot, but I don't think he goes first because I think the league's changing. I think they go for more of the speedy guys that can be a playmaker. So I think between Byron Murphy, we're talking corners, I think between Byron Murphy from Washington and Greedy Williams from LSU, it's probably going to be Greedy Williams first corner. But then you got talking DB, Deontay Thompson, the safety from Alabama, could be the first one off the board. He's got insane range. Go from one field to the other. Like if he times in the 40, I don't know what he's going to time. Let's say he times a 4.5. He looks faster than that, which is very possible he can get a 4.5 or maybe a high 4.4s. He can get one side of the field to the other like that, and it's because of his awareness, play recognition, and his just football speed. So teams will like that a lot. Georgia game, he wasn't the last time we seen him play. Not disappointing, but from what we've seen from him, which was elite safety play, a little disappointing. So between him and Greedy Williams, I'd say. But I think DeAndre Baker falls because he's a bigger lockdown guy, maybe not with the speed. So we'll see, though. He's still definitely a first-round corner. Is Lamar the second best QB for rookies?
I'm going to say no. If he played from day one, he had a chance to be, but I don't think you can say that, no.
Probably Josh Allen.
I think it has to be Josh Allen.
Which is wild. Are the Raiders Super Bowl contenders next year with Nathan Peterman on their team? No.
What if he's just like out of this world? What if he's just amazing?
He's not going to play.
No, what if they trade Carr and that's their guy?
He probably won't be on the team anymore.
I don't get the signing then.
Why are you asking Trubisky or Brady? Brady's better. I personally don't think you get rid of Graham. I don't know. I don't know if they get rid of Graham.
They need to just move on from him. Even if you don't cut him, don't get rid of him. Move on from him. They need to draft someone.
Yeah, they could use like an athletic tight end, more athletic. Graham's not the same as he used to be. We'll see though. What do we got? Lot of chat questions.
Oh, wow.
Apologize once again if we missed it. Woo! Can't keep up. Will the Ravens make the playoffs? My latest prediction, I don't think I had them making the playoffs. I want the Ravens. I want to see that team in the playoffs, though.
I do too. I want to see Lamar.
They're good enough to be in the playoffs. That's why the NFC, where the Vikings record doesn't belong in the playoffs, but it looks like they'll make it. The Eagles have a chance to make it. I think a lot of these AFC teams are better than the Seahawks. Seahawks are going to make it most likely. I'd rather have the Ravens are currently in, but Colts, Titans, I'd rather have those two teams in. Greedy Williams pro player comparison. That's tough. He's got the Jalen Ramsey attitude. I give him that. But he doesn't. I wouldn't compare his play style to him. I'll think about that. Get back to you. Something to think about. Does Breeze retire if the Saints win the Super Bowl? That's a good question.
I think he plays out his contract.
Yeah, I think pretty sure he'll play. Yeah, play out his contract. But if they win the Super Bowl, that's tough.
Actually, he might. I can see him doing that.
If the Falcons stay healthy, how far do they go? It depends on their coordinators. I saw somebody ask about the coordinator spot too. Yeah, I heard that Darrell Bevel was leaning candidate right now, which I don't like. How far do they go next year? It really depends on how the other teams look.
And how their offense needs to.
Depends on if Cam's healthy.
So hit or miss.
In that division.
Depends if Drew retires. We don't know.
Yeah, the Falcons honestly can win that division next year. It wouldn't surprise me. They can finish in third, and it wouldn't surprise me. If they finish in last, it probably surprise me a little bit. They're very surprising this year. Will the Cowboys choke again?
Yes.
I think they can win one playoff game. It depends on who they play. I don't know. Depends on who they play, I guess.
I think Dak turns the ball over too much.
I mean, there's a lot of quarterbacks that turn the ball over in their teams. Like, look at Phillip Rivers in that Chiefs game. He turned over twice. Looked like he was costing, and they still won the game.
And it's literally the defenses that keep these teams in them. If you notice that, Chargers D is good.
Still got
Cowboys D is good. Even like the Bears. Trubisky turns it over. The Bears D is good.
This year's really weird with that, too.
Normally, if you make mistakes on offense, you lose the game. But, this year has not been the case a lot of times. The team that
scores on defense wins the game.
Yeah.
It could be any team, any given Sunday, any given game.
Yeah.
But, the teams that do it the most seem to be, doing very well. What else we got here? Bold. Not really that bold. Prediction Vikings will get the 5th seed.
It's not too bold.
Yeah, I could see it happening because if they They beat the Lions like they should, and then
Are they tied with the Seahawks right now?
If they win this week,
Okay, they have a tie.
Yeah, they have a tie. If the Vikings beat the Lions this week and the Seahawks lose to the Chiefs, and the Vikings are the 5. But
What happens if both lose? Like,
Both.
what is it right now?
If both lose this week, then and the Eagles win, the Eagles are gonna hop the Vikings. So it's gonna be Seahawks 5, Eagles 6.
What if
Vikings 7.
Eagles lose? Everyone loses.
Well,
What
it
is
stays
the
the
seeding?
same. It's Seahawks and Vikings.
Seahawks then Vikings. Oof.
Yeah. Well, if the Vikings, when the Vikings got the Bears next week, which is in Minnesota,
You're probably gonna be playing backups.
the Bears will.
I think no. I said the Vikings are gonna be versing backups probably.
Yeah, so I think well they may not. The Bears could be playing for the 2 seed.
I think depending on what the Rams and Saints do this
Yeah,
week.
but they're gonna be this week.
No, depending on basically what the Rams do. If the Rams lose this week, somehow lose this week, the Bears are going to be going all out.
Yeah.
If they, but it all obviously the Bears need to beat the Niners first of all. But if the Rams lose, they're gonna play their starters.
The Bears could go all out even if they can't get the 2nd seed too, because they may not want to play the Vikings twice in a row. It's just like let's beat them, let's play the next team attitude, which is a good attitude I think.
But if you
because they
I
have
don't
a good
think-
chance of playing each other twice in a row.
right, but if you go hard and lose that game,
It's not a big deal.
I think it's a big deal
I think
because
if
then
the-
you have 3. That's the 3rd time they've seen you if you play them next week. Then in the playoffs.
I think my prediction is they will go hard and the Vikings will win that game. And if they play each other again in Chicago, my pick would be the Bears. So I think even if they go hard, they still lose to the Vikings, but it's in Minnesota. But I think if the next week it'll be flipped. People will probably take away too much from it, but
this Vikings-Lions game this week is going to be a lot closer than we think, just because it's a division game.
yeah.
And literally the NFC North, every single division game, no matter how good or bad teams are, even last year at times when the Bears were terrible, they'd stay in games with the Vikings.
All right, the Vikings lost to the Lions and
It was
very close.
It's always
last
the
year.
NFC. It's most divisions, but the
Well,
NFC
that could
North,
be the
obviously, we
Saints'
noticed
excuse
it
from
most.
last week too. They were at Carolina. That could be the excuse for that too.
Yeah, and what
Legitimate.
about the week before?
Who was it? The Bucks.
Yeah, they struggled.
Yeah, they pulled
Early on.
second half there, all right, and they lost to the Cowboys. It was in Dallas. I mean, a lot of these teams are like
So
that.
basically,
They need
3
to
weeks
be
in
at,
a row of struggling.
they need to be at home, but they've lost to the Buccaneers. They lost week 1 to the Buccaneers, and they lost the last.
That was
season.
Fitzmagic, though.
But they lost the last week of the season last year to the Buccaneers at home, and they went to playoffs, and they played a pretty good playoffs, even though they lost them.
Yeah, but that was.
Yeah, they played a
They
pretty good
should have
playoffs.
won that game.
So they struggle with the Buccaneers is my point. So I mean, the win's a win there, and you'll take it. I think they'll be fine when they're at home in the playoffs. I don't know.
Let's see.
Which one is worse? Niners, Bills, Jets, Packers. Oh, so many teams there. No,
Oh my
Niners,
gosh.
Bills, Jets, Packers. Which one's worse?
This year? Or like going forward?
I don't know.
This year, I am going to.
the Jets are the worst.
Jets are the worst.
Best, Cowboys, Rams, Pats, Saints, Chiefs. I like the Chiefs.
I like how the Bears are not even in there.
It's a random question. But thank you. Ryan Tannehill, Titans. What?
I think Pigskin Pete would hate that.
Yeah, I don't think you'd agree. Worst, Jets, best, Saints. Or somebody's answering that. Eat my ass answered that. Haskins will be a bust. He's been looking good lately. I want to see more of him.
We need you.
We need the weather report. You guys doing them Sunday? And we did that the Christmas
We'll
special.
do them
instead.
one game a week. One game a week. We had a Christmas
Next
special
week
this
for
week.
week 17.
Week 17.
Something you guys will come up with something.
We'll come up with something.
Will the Giants draft Haskins? I'm gonna say no. Chances are no. If you at this time, a while out from the draft, any player, chances are no. But I don't think Haskins fits Shermer's offense. Haskins is a good quarterback. I think they would rather have Locke than before Haskins. That's just my opinion because I don't think Shermer runs like a West Coast style offense. It's basically a pro style. It's somewhat old school now. So Haskins doesn't need to be in like a strictly RPO, but he needs to be able to roll out a lot, throw on the run, first read. A lot of these teams are doing. But Shermer's old school. He's still a good coach, even though it's old school stuff. So I don't. They could go Haskins to change it up. Try something new. That'll be an experiment. I like Haskins. Don't really like him in Shermer's offense, though. Don't think he'd be bad in his offense.
What do you think the Skins need? Quarterback.
I mean, we need more news on Alex Smith, but quarterback.
And they need a healthy Darius Geis.
Yeah.
Healthy.
Chris
And
Thompson,
they
you
need
can't
some
rely on to
receivers.
be healthy. Peterson, people will probably doubt him some more. Maybe he won't be back. Yeah, they need a receiver bad. They've needed one for a long time, though.
Paul Richardson is not your answer.
I mean, he's good, but he shouldn't be your
Not your
best
answer.
receiver. Yeah. Or Crowder, but they need a few receivers. They
still got – oh, no, he's on the – never mind.
There's no point for the Redskins. A team like the Redskins, there's no point for them to draft like two guys in like the 3rd and 5th round or something like that. There's no point to drafting one in the 1st and in the 5th round. Like, if you're going to get some number 1 receivers, unless they picked up somebody in free agency before the draft, but I'd go out and, I mean, we got to know more about the quarterback situation. So let's say they draft the quarterback in the 1st round. I'd go out and get a receiver in the 2nd and in the 3rd round. They want them to grow together too. So Washington Gaskin would be good for the Colts. Yeah, I mean they already got more than Mack and Hines. You know, I think that's I would actually compare Gaskin to Mack a little bit. You know, he's not the biggest guy, but he runs like he's pretty big. You know.
I can see, though, like Marlon Mack being their physical guy and them going out and signing a Le'Veon.
I think Hines. I like the Mack and Hines. I mean, you can get better. You can't be satisfied with just that. But it's a young team that can continue to grow. If you can get Le'Veon Bell, go ahead and get Le'Veon Bell. But Gaskin would fit, but don't think they would get him because if they're going to get a running back, it's not going to be in the draft. It's going to be for Le'Veon.
Let's see here. Let's try to catch up.
Who's your Super Bowl prediction? I had Chiefs over Saints. It changed every week, though. We'll see. Doubting the Chiefs staff a little bit.
This is moving so fast.
Yeah. Got my football.
There you go. High and tight.
I passed a bunch. Alex Smith greater than Kirk Cousins? I don't think so. Hard to tell now.
Yeah, we need to see more.
The thing is, it's really hard to tell, too, because Cousins didn't have Diggs and Thielen in Washington, but he didn't have Washington's offensive line as well, so it's like two totally different things. Cousins is not a winner. I think it was like kind of I don't know if it's a coincidence. I think the Vikings, the whole prime time thing, you know, like Cousins' record on prime time, I think it's a coincidence. Like but
he's literally a different player.
I don't think he's a different player. I think
he does not show the same confidence that he has on a normal day. The confidence last week. The confidence he showed last week
it was a different coordinator.
Was not but it was night and
simple.
day. Night and day. He just looks so noticeably just like nervous and not himself on prime. I don't know. Maybe it's just me nitpicking, but I don't know.
I don't actually want everyone's talking about Teddy being a 3rd string. I don't know if he's really the 3rd string quarterback.
I don't think Taysom Hill's the 2nd string.
Yeah, it just looks like Taysom Hill. It's totally different. Taysom Hill's not coming in to play quarterback. Really, basic quarterback.
He's coming in to run like some type of wild.
Like Drew Brees doesn't need a backup quarterback to come in for him. He needs somebody that's gonna make a play to it's. I want to see Bridgewater play though. If Bridgewater never got hurt, he'd be the Vikings quarterback right now. He'd be very good. They wouldn't have a quarterback situation. I want to see him play after the injury. I guess maybe the Vikings thought he wasn't good to go, so that's why they didn't get him back.
Yeah, I don't know what their medical staff saw that they just let him walk.
I don't think the Redskins keep Peterson. I don't know. I just have a feeling they don't. You know, I'm sure they like him.
Yeah. No, you got Darius Geis. You're fine. As long as he stays healthy, you're fine.
Chris Thompson can't stay healthy. He's a heck of a ball player too. But a lot of arguing about Teddy going on. We need to see Teddy play, but Teddy was very good. We need to see him play though post injury. If he played on the Saints. If he started for the Saints right now,
they got to go out and re-sign him.
He'd be pretty good. He'd honestly be pretty good.
You think if he played for the Saints right now, we'd see that motorcycle celebration if he scored?
Oh, probably. Probably get in there. Maybe
He
they
did
can
it
do
again last game.
Maybe
You see
they can do Maybe they can do it week 17 if they don't
the
have
whole
to play.
team. That'd be so great if the whole team did it.
Chargers or Pats head-to-head Chargers. I said the Patriots don't. I don't think they want to play the Chargers in the playoffs. I think it's a bad matchup.
Yeah.
I think the Chargers win that game. What if the Vikings sign the fired Viking?
No, that's the Falcons.
The Falcons sign the. Yeah, I read that like backwards. If they sign D. Filippo,
Maybe.
it's about the same as what they got. Sarkisian's pretty bad. No, Sarkisian's better than D. Filippo cannot call plays. I think Sarkisian just couldn't call plays in the red zone really, but still needs to go. Looking for questions. A lot of arguing on here.
A lot of arguing.
Trubisky versus Bridgewater. Need to see Bridgewater.
Yeah, we haven't seen Bridgewater in years.
Looking for a question.
Yeah, we're waiting for a question here.
I think we got all caught up.
Oh, here
Probably
we go.
missed some.
Is Mahomes in a what? No, I think it's still part of the argument. Never mind. These kids are arguing. You think a team will try to trade for Nick Mullins?
I'd try, yeah. I think a team.
I don't think they're giving him up though.
Yeah, I don't know if they for what they'll offer. I think
Yeah.
a team that needs a quarterback that really isn't 100% sold on the rookie quarterbacks this year. They don't like the draft. They can try to trade for Mullins, maybe they would probably offer like a fifth rounder, but the Niners would not do that. The reason to do it, bring him in with a rookie quarterback, have him battle, it's safety, have both of them. That would be the reason, but I don't know. I think teams would offer a fifth. Maybe some crazy teams would offer a fourth, and then maybe the Niners would take that, but I don't know if a deal actually gets done.
Sammy here. Hey guys, what's up? Merry Christmas to everyone. Merry Christmas to you, Sammy. He said, "What is the topic at hand?" Whatever you want it to be, my friend.
Or just a Q&A. Don't got anything scheduled. No live stream tomorrow, unfortunately, so we thought we'd do this here. Next time we'll be back with a video is my recap video on Monday.
Somebody said, "Oh, to me." What does Donnie say there? I can't read that.
Do you think the Chiefs fire their defense coordinator after this year?
I don't think it's a coordinator issue.
Yeah, I don't.
I think it's just a personnel issue. They need better defensive players.
Yeah, I'd be surprised actually if they fired him.
For how they're looking, with the talent they have, it's impressive. They're still not. They're playing decent defense for somebody who personnel wise is not strong.
Yeah, their pass rush, their second sacks.
Their pass rush has single handedly.
I mean, the coordinator's got to get
DBs.
Got to get some.
They need some DBs bad.
I mean,
weren't they rumored into Earl Thomas?
Yeah.
So what if you got Eric Berry and Earl Thomas back there?
Trevor says check the email, Riz. What the? Ask Frogs Angels email.
Let me see what you got over here.
Does A-Rod ask for a trade, Rodgers? No. Eagles in the playoffs. I think it ended up being. It's really
According to your conspiracy.
what?
Look at your conspiracy. Trevor, you got 3 questions here, buddy. Come on.
My conspiracy wasn't serious. They couldn't make. The Eagles couldn't make it. They could win out and still not make it. I don't know.
It's all you. It's all you. He's got 3 questions here.
Look at Tyler Boyd's stats for a second. I know AJ Green has only played 9 games, but damn, 74 receptions for 1,028 yards, 7 touchdowns with Dalton and Driscoll throwing. Yeah, Boyd's very good. Funny thing, my favorite thing to do is what started this channel pretty much is covering the draft. And when he was a freshman at Pittsburgh, I was so high on him. I'm saying this is the next best receiver, and he declined, still good, declined every year, stayed all 4 years, declined. He kind of dropped a little bit, but I still thought highly of him, and now he's starting to show this old Tyler Boyd that I knew. So he's very talented, very talented. Percent chance Breeze retires with a Super Bowl win this year, same with Brady and Big Ben. If they win a Super Bowl,
I want to hear something funny. I think you're going to see Big Ben lose at some point in the playoffs, and he's going to if they make it, and he's going to contemplate retirement like he always does
Oh, he's
every
going to do
single
it
year.
again, yeah. But he's
Every
very
single
competitive.
year.
You see him, he gets hurt, and he wants to come back in.
Is he really hurt, though? I question if he's actually hurt a lot of these times.
I think the last time he was when they kept Dobbs in for a while. If Brady wins the Super Bowl, I think he retires. Breeze it's 50-50, I think. That's a tough one. If Foles leads the Eagles to the playoffs and wins a game, what's the Eagles QB situation next year? What about if someone leads them to another Super Bowl win?
Oh my God! If Foles led him back to the Super Bowl,
if Foles won the
Wentz
Super Bowl,
should never see the field.
yeah, if he won the Super Bowl again, they lock him up. Other teams would be throwing money at him. There's gonna be a battle for him. If he wins a playoff game, I still think there's gonna be a battle for him.
I think he's still gonna have
the Eagles
money
will.
for him.
The Eagles will attempt to bring him in, but their mindset's gonna be: we drafted Wentz, we know his potential, so they're really gonna be with Wentz, and Foles is gonna know that, even if he wins a playoff game. So somebody will offer him more money. The Eagles will still offer him, but he'll go elsewhere. But if he wins the Super Bowl, I think the Eagles throw all the money they can at him and say, "You're our guy." I really think so. But other teams will as well. Good questions. Thank you.
Somebody said here, I saw it in the chat. If would it be unfair if Mahomes doesn't win the MVP? I don't think so, because I think Drew Brees and him are kind of fighting for that.
You could argue it, because if it did happen, it would probably be because people thought Brees is almost done, and he's the veteran. So that's some people will think like that, and that's really not fair. But if they sit there and just make a good argument that Brees is better than Mahomes, and then it's fair. Who's going first overall in this upcoming draft? It's probably going to be Bosa. We're going to learn more about the injury. More stuff's going to come out. See if he stays healthy in this process. We've seen guys get hurt. Next up would be Quinnen Williams from Alabama. Guy plays D tackle. He can line up on the edge as well. He's an animal. Absolute animal. But you can't rule out the quarterbacks too, because quarterbacks are overdrafted and teams always fight over them. So we'll see. We will see. But chances are Bosa. What else we got?
Let's see. What do the Pats need to do at backup QB? It's definitely not Brian Hoyer.
Yeah. I mean, I trust them, whatever they do.
I think the Patriots are going to be that team that goes out and either trades for a veteran, signs one of these guys that teams are done with. I can see them, because they don't every single year their draft pick is low. So you're going to see them. What if they go trade that for Derek Carr?
I don't know if they do that.
They can go do like
Carr's contract's ridiculous.
But I think like Flacco, I think Bortles, I think all these guys that teams are done with are more appealing to the Patriots than drafting, because their draft placement.
You know what's more surprising? Not that they traded Garoppolo, they traded Jacoby Brissett. Now that I think about it.
Yeah. I traded both of them.
Yeah, but I think the Brissett one's more surprising. Not that he's better or anything. I like Brissett a lot. I was very high on him on NC State, but I'm surprised they traded him. I think he could have been the guy. I really think he could have. So that's kind of surprising too. I mean, they got a lot out of Garoppolo. They got a good pick, I guess, but I don't know. That's surprising. I think Brissett could have been good. This is backing up Luck. I think the guy can play somewhere.
How about this nice long one?
What's up, guys? Hope you guys have a great Christmas Tuesday. My question is, where do you see Le'Veon Bell going in free agency, and who do you think are going to be the hottest free agents?
Ooh.
Well,
that's going to be a lot of offseason.
Merry Christmas to you, Anthony. Thanks for that.
Yeah, Merry Christmas.
Well, Le'Veon Bell, we said Colts or Texans. Other hot free agents. Man. Well, just top of my head, because I'm a Vikings fan, just Anthony Barr comes to mind right away. Just made the Pro Bowl.
He's going to get paid.
I think
he is going to get paid.
We see what he can do, because he played 3-4 outside linebacker for UCLA, and the Vikings converted him to 4-3 outside linebacker. And just last week against the Dolphins, they used him in the blitz. He got 2 sacks. So he can pass rush, basically. He played a 3-4 outside linebacker. So do 3-4 teams take a look at him? Do teams that want to blitz take a look at him? And like him maybe more than the Vikings do for their plans. So I think that's a big name. Man, none pop in my head right away. I can't think of any right now. We're not in free agency mode yet.
Yeah, we're not in free agency swing yet.
Nick Foles, obviously.
Yeah.
I think Bridgewater is going to be – it's going to bring up a good discussion. Got to learn more about his injury.
That's going to be – we're going to see how worth that trade was for the Saints. If they don't bring him back, it was pointless.
Do you think if Jimmy G starts off slow next year, the Niners throw
No.
in Mullins?
No.
No, I think they stick it out with Jimmy G. If he gets like beat up, like slightly hurt, then maybe. We'll see though.
I just think you don't rush Jimmy G back.
We'll bring the brackets back next week. This was just a Q&A type thing. Nothing really. Kind of just thought of this today. We'll bring the brackets back. I want to get a good one that I really like. Eagles playoffs. I don't think they make it. It's gonna be, if they beat the Texans this week, it's gonna be real interesting. They very well could, but we'll see.
Should we open the bracket suggestions up to these guys?
Yeah, you guys can leave suggestions.
Leave some bracket suggestions.
Write them down if you like any of them.
I'll write them down.
Do you think Sean McDermott has his job safe? Yeah, I think he keeps his job.
I think he does.
They're just too young. They need more.
And they haven't looked terrible.
Barr absolutely doesn't deserve what he's going to get. He stepped up his game recently, but he's going to get overpaid. I could see him getting overpaid.
I think he's going to get overpaid.
I honestly
still
think he can
he's
play,
going.
though.
I don't think they
he's
lock
going?
him up. I don't know. I think he goes.
I don't know if they can lock. It depends on what they do. They can open up some space. I think they could part ways with Treadwell. He's still under contract.
They need to clear a lot of space for him, though.
Won't be. I don't know if Sheldon Richardson comes back. He's been actually picking it up. He's been pretty good recently. We'll see. It's gonna be interesting.
I am interested.
About Ron Rivera as Packers head coach, I don't know.
No,
I don't think they would do it. I think, because Rivera's gonna want to coach. Like, he's gonna want to be the leader. I think Rodgers wants somebody that maybe like I don't want to say he can tell what to do, but like Rodgers needs to be in control for the most part.
He wants to be the Jimmy Butler to the Hoiberg.
Yeah.
That's what he wants to be.
Is Marquise Brown the next OBJ impact-wise? Yeah, I'm glad you said impact-wise because they're nothing alike. Brown, I think he could be real good in today's NFL. Like, he can run all over the field. It could be like a T.Y. Hilton kind of. What T.Y. Hilton does, plays a slot, plays outside, pretty much runs everywhere on the field, gets open. I guess you could compare him to his cousin Antonio Brown too. You know, Antonio Brown's obviously he's not going to be Antonio Brown, but I think he'll be very good. I think he should be a first-round receiver. What team can go into NOLA during the playoffs and beat them?
Bears.
Any
Defense
team with
travels.
the best chance. It's tough because I do think the Bears kind of need their home field advantage. You know, we've seen them shine.
Don't go into that too much because I see a question that we could address that.
Okay. The Bears could beat them. Definitely could beat them. If it was in Chicago, they may be the favorites, but I don't think it's going to be. I still think I was gonna say Cowboys because the Cowboys already beat them, but you can't beat a team. It's hard to beat a team. Hard to beat a team twice. This won't be in New Orleans. I still think the Rams, just because they match each other. It's just gonna be whoever makes that one extra big play on offense. I still think the Rams, but I think if the NFC playoffs goes through New Orleans, I think the Saints they have to be the ones. Never know though.
Somebody said something about the toughest fields to go and play at. I'm taking a field where noise and the weather benefits them, like in LA, like a Chicago, like the Metrodome,
like U.S. Bank, you mean?
No, not you. Oh yeah, U.S. Bank, and then like the Saints over there. I think because like it's a turf field. Teams have played on turf, but it's with the whole environment and with how loud and how crazy it is. It has to be those four.
Oh
yeah. Christmas movie bracket. Not worth it. It's Home Alone.
Do you all think Keenum is the Broncos franchise guy? I don't think he will be. I like Keenum, though. I would like Haskins on the Broncos. I keep bringing up Haskins. Do a Christmas movie bracket or best.
No, it's Home Alone. It's Home Alone.
Well, the bracket would be after Christmas. It'd be next week's live stream.
Mikey, it's Home Alone.
Yeah, they would clear some space if they cut Treadwell. Missing some questions here. If the Giants decide to move on from Eli, do you think they can aim towards the draft or just throw money out to a QB in the offseason?
I think you're going to see them throw money out, but I want them to go. Or actually,
They'll offer Nick Foles. They'll
Yeah.
try to go for Flacco possibly, but they could look
they
for
should
the
go with the
draft.
young guy.
But it depends on whether they're picking, because if there's like, if our I think they'll like for the Giants, for Shermer's offense, Herbert, if he declares he will be their favorite one. But will they be in a position to get him? Will they be in a position to trade up? Do they want to trade away that much? They may have to look to free agency because of those questions, and Herbert may not even go. I like Haskins. I don't think he fits. I think Drew Lock fits better, but he's not supposed to go that early. So, scenario for the Giants: draft. What do they need? Pass rush. Draft a good pass rusher where they pick. Move up from the second round. You won't have to give up as much moving up to get a guy like Herbert. Move up from the second round into the mid of the first round. Get Drew Lock. So then you get a pass rush and Drew Lock. You do give up a little bit, but yeah. Toughest stadium. We talked about toughest stadiums. Which is the toughest stadium to play in playoffs? Going on the road in the playoff. Well, for this year, I think it would be. For this year, I think it'd have to be the Saints. I don't know, just because it's tough to say. The Bears have a ridiculous home field advantage, but how many times are we going to see them home? First round.
But the fact that that's in the discussion kind of.
I think they'll be home in the first round. Depends on. No, they're going to be away in the second round, so it's tough.
No, actually, we don't know yet with the seedings.
Rather have Barr than Richardson just because how deep D-line is, because Spielman is amazing at drafting position. Yeah, I'd definitely rather have Barr than Richardson, but not to separate their talents. I think they're pretty evenly talented, but yeah. Eric Wilson looks pretty good, though, for depth for the Vikings. I mean, he can step up and play. We answered that. Barr to the Titans. We are needed outside pass rush.
Pete would like that.
Yeah, Pete would like that, but yeah, they have to be confident about him switching back to 3-4. I know I mentioned he played 3-4, and I think he's capable of doing, but they have to be sure that he can do it because he did put on weight since UCLA, a lot of weight. He lost some speed to be able to do that, but I still think he's capable. We see him when he blitzes. He makes a huge impact. The Vikings are the best blitz defense, and it's due not just to him, but big reason. Do you think the Vikings can make it to the Super Bowl after watching their last game? Can't base it off one game home against the Dolphins. Dolphins struggle away a lot. I will say this. The NFC is pretty wide open. It's pretty wide open. I think the Saints pretty much got it if they're home the whole way. But anybody in the NFC in the playoffs, I wouldn't say like 0% chance or anything. But they're not consistent enough. Cousins isn't consistent enough. The offensive line's not good. I'd say the defense is pretty consistent, but is that enough? That's the question. Do you think the Ravens hold on that 6th seed? They gotta. Somebody's asked about the Ravens too before. It's
that Ravens Steelers is gonna be nice.
Ravens Steelers Colts Titans.
It's gonna be nice.
It's nuts. Battle's crazy. I don't know if the Ravens hold on to it at this point. It's a big game. Take it 1 week at a time. If they beat the Chargers, they're going to get it. If they lose the Chargers, it's not looking good. It's pretty much that. Should Kyler Murray play baseball or football? It's a good question. I don't watch baseball that much. I haven't seen him play baseball, so I can't tell you which one I think he's better at.
You see, he has to
I think it's on him. Whichever one he's more passionate about. I think. People say he would be a first round pick in the NFL. I don't think he'd be a first round pick, not because of his talents. I think he's undersized, and I believe in undersized guys if they can play, like Russell Wilson. But I still don't think. Yeah, I still don't think scouts and certain teams do, but I still don't think most of them do. So I think he'll drop for that reason if he played. I also think they'll doubt his passion for the game because he did say at one point he's going to play baseball. He's on a team. He wants to play baseball. So I think that can hurt him. You talk about combine interviews are so important. Why? Because they sit down and they test them to find out their passion for the game. How long will they play? I don't know if that will – I think he loves the game. I don't know if that will go well for him. So I think if he played football, he would drop. Sounds like he really likes baseball. So I think whatever one he chooses, I think is right, honestly.
You did bring up a undersized quarterback who also plays baseball.
Russell Wilson, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think the Chiefs should keep Damian Williams and Darrell Williams or should go after Tevin Coleman in free agency? Tevin Coleman's good. Damian Williams looked really good. I want to see more of him because it was only one game. He looked real good, though. They could draft one. I think Damian Williams and a guy that they draft, add another Williams there. Dexter Williams from Notre Dame. I'd like him being he could be a Kareem Hunt replacement. Another Williams to the group. That would make sense. Bears, Saints, and Hawks have some of the best home fields. Yeah, Seahawks have good home field.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
But I don't know if they're talented enough to push through the playoffs. Saints lose second round or Ravens go to Super Bowl. Which one happens?
Ooh.
Saints.
Which one happens? I say better chance of Saints losing in the second round.
Yeah. Tough to see the rookie Lamar going, even
Yeah.
though it's so hard to stop. I think I can't
him
wait
going.
for the Ravens Chargers this week because
It's a good defense.
I think they're gonna unleash Lamar Jackson. Like they could have been running him more. I think they have.
And they can go passively through games, but now that they got their lives on the line,
It's a team that I wouldn't want to play. I don't want to match up with Lamar Jackson, and they have a top defense at the same time. They need to be in the
Lamar needs
playoffs.
to be careful.
I think he can be.
He got banged up.
They have Joe
against the
Flacco.
Chiefs. Oh, that's true.
It's a
He's
good
healthy.
backup.
He's healthy now. Yeah.
I think they're going to start. The Ravens could beat the Chargers this week. We seen the Chargers a couple weeks ago lose to the Broncos in L.A. Why? Because the Broncos played really good defense. The Ravens can play defense, and they can make your game plan a nightmare with Lamar Jackson.
Yeah.
The more I'm talking, the more I'm thinking, I'm not going to switch it because it's too late. But the more I'm talking, the Ravens got a shot to win this game. And they're going to make the playoff. They win this game. I can't wait for that. I can't wait for this week.
Oh, my gosh.
These Christmas games.
Christmas.
Not the real Christmas Eve game. I don't
Christmas.
care about that one. But Christmas, yeah.
Give some scroll action here.
Yeah. What wild card team could win it all? So the wild would be the Chargers.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the obvious one. What other ones? Who's gonna make the other wild card spots? Either gonna be the Steelers, the Ravens, or the Colts.
I'm gonna say Colts are pretty dangerous.
Colts
are pretty
Who
dangerous.
do you think has a better chance of winning the Super Bowl? Let's say I don't think both are making the playoffs, but put them both in the playoffs. Colts, Ravens. Which one has a better chance of winning the Super Bowl? Ravens.
Yeah,
because their defense probably.
Defense.
I'd say
Even
so
though
too.
no knock to the Colts D, their D is good. Their D is really
It's
good.
impressive because
Very
it wasn't
impressive.
supposed to be this good.
Right. But I think I still got to go.
But the thing is that you worry about Lamar turning over. He has had his games where he kind of forces one deep and it's a
Yeah, but he
turnover.
has playoff experience.
I'm not saying he played better than Lamar Jackson, but he can turn the ball over. NFC, I don't know if those wild cards. I'm not a believer in the Seahawks.
No.
I think the Vikings defense could. The Vikings defense is one of the best in football, and they don't get the turnovers. If they get lucky, some of these games, they get the. The thing is, it has to be game after game after game. That's why I don't think they can do it. But
I think
the defense is really good.
The defense is really good, but based off of this year, in riding the momentum, I think I would have to say Seahawks
over Vikings
in terms of which wild card team would go further. Just
I don't think
because I trust the ball
I think they
in Russell
both-
Wilson's hand over Kirk Cousins any day of the
That's
week.
just true, but I think
He's more of a game manager. The defense has looked impressive. The Seahawks defense, it's like the Colts. They weren't supposed to be good. Obviously, they're not on
I
that
don't know if
level.
they can play in the playoffs though.
I don't know. I just think Russell Wilson at the
We've seen them
man in the controls
lose right away in playoffs when they had their
stacked defense.
defense. Yeah, so I don't know. I think both teams that we're discussing right now, I think they both most likely will lose in the first round, and they both have a max of really one game. But the NFC is pretty open.
Yeah.
It's just, I guess it's still with me that the Seahawks really weren't supposed to be this good. But at the same time, are they that good? Because
I don't.
who have they
They're
beaten?
peaking at the right time. They're
Just lost to
peaking
the
at right
Niners.
time. Yeah, but they're still peaking.
Bell comes to Indy. Colts will win the Super Bowl next year. Oh, that's not a question. That's a statement, I guess.
Yeah, that's not a question.
They'll be contenders not next few years for a while. I
Jags
think.
maybe on RG3. Please no.
Yeah.
Don't do it.
Do y'all think my Niners trade down because we only got 5 picks in this upcoming draft? Yeah, it actually can make
I
sense.
can see that.
Depends on where they're picking and who's on the board.
They're high up because Jimmy G's injury.
Yeah.
And
They're starting to
McKinnon.
win now, though.
Yeah, it's not good.
I think if they're sitting there and somebody ridiculous is on the board, you kind of have to take them.
Yeah, I think they need to. they should be like tanking the season to shop that pick for more picks.
It's hard to tank.
It's hard to tank
football.
at football.
Yeah.
But like the highest pick possible, obviously they should trade it and get as much as they can for it. And the higher the pick, obviously,
There's a pretty
more
good
value.
chance it can happen. I don't think RG3 gets a chance.
No,
really.
please no.
Whoa.
Whoa.
I'm losing my spot in
I
the
think
chat.
you're high.
What?
I think you're too high.
Too high?
Yeah, I think you're too high.
I don't think I am.
Oh, stadiums bracket. Good one.
Yeah, I didn't see any of this.
Good one.
Color rush bracket.
Ooh, we're going to write these down. Good ones. Even though we don't want it to be sports, preferably.
I think the Cowboys can win one game max in the play. It depends on who they play. I think they can win one game, really. They need to be home. I think a lot of these NFC teams need to be home. That's the thing. They need to be home. All of them.
Yeah, but home field in football
Like if the
more
Saints,
so than anything means
okay, right
so
now,
much.
out of the NFC teams, who's the worst team in the playoffs? You think the Vikings probably?
Vikings or Seahawks? Yeah, Vikings.
Okay, but if the Saints have to, let's say it was a playoff game, it's not going to happen. But say the Saints had to go to Minnesota, don't you think the Vikings could win that game? Either can go either way.
I think it's more of a
Yeah.
50-50 than if the Vikings came down to.
Yeah, I think all those teams need a home. Like, I think there's a very like the Seattle. If it was the Seahawks, I think if the Saints went to Seattle and Seattle can win that game, they're home. But I think whoever's home really is the favorites. Depends on what the Rams could lose at home because they're struggling big time now. But I don't know. We said the stadium bracket.
Yeah, I wrote it down. You guys streaming Saturday games? Probably not.
Most likely not, unfortunately. Vikings are better than the Cowboys. I would like to see that head-to-head. I think
that would be an interesting game head-to-head.
I think I would pick the Vikings, and I'm a Vikings fan, but I think the pass rush, when we see the Cowboys' offensive line looks really, really good, but then when they play a good pass rush, they look terrible.
Yeah.
Terrible. The Vikings are number one in sacks right now. I think that'll be a problem for Dak. I don't know, but in Dallas, could go either way. Unless the Redskins somehow get in the playoffs and play Cowboys, and the Cowboys lose to whatever wild card team they play, probably. Yeah, we didn't really talk about if the Eagles make it. Like if the Eagles make it,
I think they
the
can make
6.
some noise. I think this makes some noise.
They would probably if the Eagles make it, it would be the Bears first round.
If the Eagles made it with Foles,
would you
that
be more
momentum.
scared? Who would you, as a Bears fan? I asked Danny this. I think it was off the air.
oh boy,
Who would you want to play the most?
home,
The
right?
most? Yeah, it's 3 versus 6. You're 3.
Okay.
Eagles, Seahawks, Vikings. Who would you want to play the most?
Who would I want to play?
Yeah,
Wait, Eagles, Seahawks,
Vikings. First round of the playoffs in Chicago.
Ooh. I'm not gonna say the Seahawks because we beat them already this year.
No, so who would you want to play?
Right, I'm eliminating one by one. So
Because you're saying you don't know if you can beat them a second time?
I wouldn't want a team that's had that good of a look at us, and I don't know because
Well, the Vikings played you and about to play you. Who would you least want to play? That's the real question.
I wouldn't want to play the Seahawks.
That's the last one you want to
I
play?
would not want. I would not want to play the Seahawks. But then, like, I'm going back on my. If the Eagles make it, they're coming in with some serious momentum.
Yeah. See, if I'm a Bears fan, I would not want to play the Eagles. Danny said he doesn't want to play the Vikings out of the 3, and you're saying Seattle.
I think it'd be Vikings or Seattle.
Well, the
I'm
Vikings
not
playing
concerned
a
about the
third
Eagles.
time.
Yeah, but I'm on the boat right now. Regardless of somebody said when I said that the Bears should not play majority of their starters full time, week 17. Somebody said that Nagy says they are playing. They're not going to be giving the Vikings looks. Like it's going to be just kind of going through the motions type of deal. But if they're going to go hard, like say the Rams lose and they're going hard for that, I wouldn't want to see the Vikings again. I would not.
I don't know if there's a point of hiding your looks though at that point because the Vikings.
You don't want to give a team 3 serious looks at you.
Everybody
beating them
has
3
your
times.
looks on film though.
Yeah, but you're not beating the same team 3 times. It's already hard enough to do it twice.
I think you got to be confident, but
I'm confident that
I'm saying they like
right. I'm
they
confident
will
that
be
they
confident.
can do it. Yeah, especially like in their minds, it's like we beat them twice. Why not a third time?
Yeah. Better game, Chiefs, Seahawks, or Chargers, Ravens. I'm just really starting to get into this Chargers
Ravens
game,
looks good.
Chiefs, Seahawks will be close, but I'm pretty confident about
right
the
there.
Chiefs. What's that?
Hey, dudes, just got to the stream.
Oh, Silas.
Go Bears, Junior. So Frogs, how are you?
We're doing good.
We're good. Is it upset in Foxborough?
Has every team has a team ever won a Super Bowl after starting 1-5? That's what the Colts are trying to do. The Colts got to get in first.
Yeah, they do.
Not doubting them, but they got to get in.
They got some work to do.
What else we got?
Where are the other frogs at? Not here. Not here.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Raiders are the new Browns. I don't know. The Raiders, I honestly think the Raiders are going to take a jump next year. They're going to take a jump.
Depends on what they do.
They're going to take a jump. With that many first-round picks, it's impossible. It's impossible to not get multiple impact players.
That's
impossible.
possible. It's possible.
Oh, boy. I really hope they don't screw this up.
I'd be pumped if I was a Raiders fan.
Oh, my God, yeah.
Put this season behind you already. Now, get ready for the 3 picks. It's going to be very interesting. Especially if you like the draft. It's going to be real fun.
Browns or Bills better next year. I'm going to go Browns.
Yeah, I'm going to say Browns.
You think the Bucs can go back to... Oh, if they can go back, would they take Mariota over Winston? That's tough because
if they can go back,
with suspensions, one dealt with injuries.
They would take Mariota because
so?
the character concerns, and if they can go back, it would mean they would know what happened.
That's true.
So they haven't won. So you obviously would want to switch it.
Yeah.
Doesn't really matter what the Titans did. Put Mariota. Well, look at. I always go back to this. Mariota has Corey Davis. Who else has he got? Derrick Henry, but he's a running back.
Delaney went healthy.
Yeah. Winston has Mike Evans, Deshaun Jackson, Godwin, Humphreys.
Brait.
He's a running back, but
and
O.J. Howard, yeah. Put Mariota with those guys. Give it a try, maybe they would say. I got the Chiefs over the Seahawks. Why does that go away? I got the Chiefs over the Seahawks in a close. I think Carson and the Seahawks running game will run all over them. But I also think Mahomes will. I'm starting him too in mine. I think Mahomes will throw all over him.
How much of an impact do games from 2016 have on the games this year? I don't know. This year has been a funky year.
What's the best Christmas gift you ever received?
Me?
I can't even think of one. The watch?
The watch.
That you already got?
You got it this year already. Got it a little early.
I can't think of one on the top of my head.
Ready exchanged.
I think I got my first cell phone, on Christmas.
Your first one ever?
Yeah, I think so.
My first one ever, I was shared with my sisters.
Oh, boy.
It was in like middle school.
That's interesting.
It was like this is your phones. When you're going somewhere, whoever's going somewhere is taking it.
American food bracket for hungry people.
I'm not an American.
What?
Well, I consider myself European a little bit.
But you're born here.
Born here. I consider myself a European. We can break down the different like ethnicities and foods in that ethnicity would be a nice bracket.
There'd be too much bias.
No, but like
three out of four of us are grease balls. Okay.
Okay, well we'll do like a grease ball food tourney. So it's like not all of them.
Okay, all right.
You know what I mean?
We're throwing off the ratio.
We are throwing off the ratio.
I don't know what Danny is. What is he like? Irish and German? Yeah, I don't know.
Danny's throwing off our ratio big time.
Any more? Getting behind here. Oh, there's a lot.
Whoa.
It's supposed to be an hour stream. We're at hour 18.
Yeah, we're gonna cut it off here.
Get a few more. Sorry if I miss it. Just trying to find a good one. Best sandwiches tournament?
Ooh, Mike, sandwiches is good.
Junior, ever think about doing stand-up?
Do I ever think about doing stand-up? No. I get so embarrassed. I can tell. I have a lot of stories from my childhood that would make people really, I don't know.
Tell some stories.
I can tell some good stories.
We'll get like a podium. You can stand up there, and you can give your speech for the Pick'ems thing.
I got the beat down laid on me when I was a kid.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Old school European parents.
Had some good times back then.
Kids these days don't know nothing about that. Fast food bracket. Ice cream flavor bracket. They're good. We can do better. They're good. We can do better.
How good would the Giants be with Winston over Eli?
Restaurant bracket.
They would actually, they'd probably be fighting for that division because it's a weaker division. So, I mean, the Cowboys got it pretty much. But
Who's more of a threat to the Cowboys next year, Eagles or Giants?
I still got to go back to the Eagles. I still got to say the Eagles. I think the Giants will take a huge step up, but I still got to say the Eagles.
Frog tournament. Find out who's the best frog.
Oh, there you go.
We can do like a beatdown. Maybe.
It took me a second there to beatdown. I was reading.
I can fight
Got the worst
Danny.
ass whooping this season. Which team got the worst worst ass whooping? Niners because all the injuries.
Yeah.
Falcons maybe too.
They literally got beat up.
Cardinals, Raiders.
Bucks against the Bears.
Raiders because all the bashing they've been taking, mainly Gruden.
Yeah.
Is that gonna do it?
Oh yeah.
It's good Q&A, hour and 20. No stream tomorrow, unfortunately, so we wanted to do this just for you guys. Won't be back till Monday. We'll be tweeting. I'll be tweeting during the game. Follow our Twitter. You see it at the top left. This way. I get mixed up. It's up there, frogs_angels. We got the following's been great on our YouTube. Appreciate all you guys. Almost at 10K, which has been our goal forever. That Twitter's only got like 450 though. It's been growing. It's been growing lately, but want to get it closer to match the YouTube. You know, I tweet. I go on rants here and there. You know, I tweet during games, yell at some refs.
Yes, he does.
Compliment some good play, yell at some more refs, and then we talk drafts. Bowl games are coming up, the big bowl games. I'll be talking during those live. I was playing some Call of Duty Blackout earlier, and I was on somebody's stream. I tweeted that out, so if you want to watch me, maybe one of the other guys play some Blackout on somebody else's stream, follow our Twitter. Get ready for me to tweet that out. Maybe tonight it'll happen.
We should have Pigskin like challenge our viewers to like Madden games.
Pigskin?
Yeah.
Yeah, Pigskin plays Madden.
Pigskin plays a lot of Madden.
He doesn't play online, though.
Yeah, but we should have him challenge some viewers. That'd be awesome.
You could do his whole channel on Madden content, probably.
Yeah. He plays a lot of Madden.
Yeah. So, yeah, follow that Twitter. I want to get that up. We're almost getting to 10K here. I want to get it on Twitter, too. Let me pull that. There we go. Oh, what the green screen though, or our camera? Hold on. Let me get us on.
Jackson. Jackson's awesome.
There we go. We're
golf.
Back. We're back.
There's your shout out.
Xbox. Yeah, we play on
Xbox.
Yeah. When I play, you know, most of the time I'm working on the channel stuff, but when I play, I'm involved in some guys' live stream. Some guys new to streaming just bought a whole new streaming computer and stuff. So I'm playing with him. When he streams, I'll tweet it out. Check us out. Why not? And follow us on Twitter. I keep saying it, but I'm trying to get
get it boosted. Get us to this first.
Yeah, 10K on YouTube. We got something coming at 10K.
Surprise.
Do we keep it a surprise? Somebody actually commented that we should do this, and we're doing it at 10K, but I didn't tell them. Somebody commented it, and he's in here. The person's in here too, and they already know. They already know, probably. So we're doing it at 10K. We want to get that Twitter to 10K too.
Once we hit 10K, are we going to have a new thing that says 15K?
Probably.
Just keep climbing it.
Gotta
keep climbing the goal.
Click that like button on all the videos too. It'll be much appreciated.
10 subs for Christmas? That would be a present.
Oh, that would be great.
That'd be a great present.
That'd be great. Yep. Hashtag 10K.
10K. Get this going. Get this going.
Oh, this alert box was off the whole time. Interesting.
Where's the alert box?
I want to make sure I didn't miss anything.
No,
we're good. I believe we're good.
We're good. Okay.
Interesting.
Okay. Hashtag 20K. Love it.
Yeah.
Love it. Get us there. That's up to you. That's in your guys' hands. Woo. 100K. Woo. He's really climbing this.
Yeah. We got 100 million?
100 million?
Yeah, that sounds good.
We should just do like a 10 million subscriber goal.
Just see up there.
Just throw it up there and surprise Danny.
Or should we just put Danny and that dog, his dog Sparky, in the background the whole time?
Yeah.
If you didn't check that, I made a video with the bloopers at the end. It was hilarious.
Not good.
It was hilarious.
It was good video.
Check it out. It's the most recent video on the channel. So thanks for everyone for joining us. Thanks for the support. It's been great. Go check out our Twitter, frogs_angels. Danny's Twitter, both ours and Danny. It's in the description of this in any video. So, yeah, thanks, everyone.
When are we going to see him?
We're going to see him. I'll be back Monday with... No, I'll be on Twitter this weekend during the games.
Yeah.
Okay?
See him on Twitter.
See you on Twitter, and then Monday for the recaps. We'll keep you posted on Twitter. Any surprises, keep you posted. So that's going to do it. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.
Goodbye, guys.